Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of RTN News. Here with your latest, I'm Lauren Rotella.
And I'm Rachel Williamson. Let's jump right in and get started with your latest in local news. Lauren?
Grocery shopping in Washington Township quickly led to the stabbing of another male at Walmart. A 31-year-old South Jersey man faces charges with possession of a weapon along with aggravated assault after pulling out a knife on another man after conflict at the checkout registers. The stabbing occurred around 11:30 p.m. on Saturday night. The male in charge of the assault was then held at the Salem County Correctional Facility with a $40,000 full cash bail.
Atlantic City's government and school system are facing a deficit of more than $150 million. The deficit having a lot to do with the depleted casino tax revenue since Christie took office. What used to be a tax base of $20 billion has fallen to only $6.5. Without loan approval from Governor Christie, much of the government will shut down for nearly 1 month, beginning on the 8th of April. What is the solution? Governor Christie and his Democratic supporters in South Jersey have decided on a state takeover that would give all government power to the officials in Trenton. This isn't the first takeover that's taken place in the Garden State. In 2002, the same happened in the city of Camden, but unfortunately provides no evidence of improvement.
The Easter Meals program in Somerville had more than 40 volunteers who prepared and donated meals of turkey, ham, and plenty of sides and desserts for those in need. All who dine are greeted at the door of the Samaritan Homeless Program and then seated at the table where a volunteer takes their order and delivers their food and drinks to them. Each table has hand-drawn placemats, Easter decorations, and of course, tons of candy and chocolate. The program continues to grow and had an outcome of over 200 this year.
A young woman appearing to be wearing a white dress, a veil, and carrying a bouquet of flowers was spotted walking along a New Jersey highway at 1 a.m. The incident was recorded by a passing motorist early Tuesday morning as he was heading north on 55 nearing the Deptford Township exit. The video was posted with the caption, "Somebody please give me a reasonable explanation for this so I can sleep again." Since the video was posted to Facebook, many theories were contributed to the post, ranging from a runaway teen to a ghost. The police confirmed on Friday that it was in fact a teen runaway from a local facility. Not a ghost, but certainly spooky. And now it's time to throw things over to Deshanti Pittman for our 5-day forecast. Deshanti?
Thank you. Today it is pretty windy with a high of 56 and a low 31. Wednesday, the temperature will slightly rise with a high of 58 and a low 44. The temperature will continue to rise into Thursday with a high of 73 and a low 62. However, on Friday, the weather will be high with a 70 with with a high of 70 and a low 50 with expected rain and thunderstorms. But don't worry, it's only going to rain one day this week. The skies will be clear and become partly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 61 and a low 40.
One day rain? I'll take it.
I'll take it. It's a little bit windy out there, so everyone get ready for that. I don't know. It's a little crazy out there right now.
You're saying one day rain, but I still don't trust the sky. Like, I've been dying to wash my car and get into the nice weather, but I feel like once I do it, it's just going to be a mud bath.
Never 100%.
Exactly.
Never 100%. Well, coming up after the break, we have all of your latest. Remember Spruce Street, Harbor Park? Well, it's back. Don't go away.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Welcome back to the show. Now it's time to head over to Summer Shiki with this week's entertainment update.
Thanks, guys. RA hosts a glowing after hours event. The occasion will be held in the Student Center on April 2nd at 9 p.m. Students will be able to dance in a glow-in-the-dark Zumba class and will have a chance to join in a ping pong tournament. There will also be a showing of the movie The Sisters in the SC Game Room, which will start at 9:30 p.m. Spruce Street Harbor Park releases its official 2016 season opening date. The park by the Delaware River will officially open on May 6 at 11 a.m., nearly a month earlier than last year. The Philadelphia Summertime and now Springtime attraction is open to the public and admission will still remain free. The park will also include its floating restaurant, beer garden, hammocks, boardwalk, colorful LED lights, entertainment schedule, and endless food options. Ray Street Pier offers free daily yoga through the fall. The return of the warm weather means many great things, including free yoga by the waterfront on Ray Street Pier. The classes kick off on April 2nd and will continue every single day of the week until the first weekend of November. Yogis of any level can attend, but will have to bring their own mat, water bottle, and towel. You can find out more information about the schedule and any weather cancellations at www.facebook.com/groups/yoga on the pier. The Sisters Chapel opens at Rowan University's West Art Gallery. The event, which is free and open to the public, will be showcased at the Westby Hall on March 31st from 5 to 8 p.m. and will run through the end of June. This will be an exhibition's first public showing since 1980 and is being presented just in time for the National Women's History Month. The historic collaboration was created during the height of women's art movement and includes the work of Alice Neal, June Blum, Betty Holiday, and Mae Stevens, just to name a few. Now we'll go over to Samantha Berenberg at the Art Gallery showing.
The Sister Chapel art exhibit premiered at Rowan University's Westby Art Gallery on Monday. The exhibition hasn't been put together in its entirety since 1980, and so Rowan University is the only place since then who showed off the exhibit in its entirety.
Well, the planning for this has taken about 2 years, and that's mostly because we had to come up with a way to design the tent so that it could be modular and break down in a way that it could be stored or could travel to other venues. We hope to travel the exhibition.
The idea was first brought up by Elise Greenstein in the 70s to promote feminism and the new women's art movement. She was joined by 12 more women who had the same dream, and together they made the exhibit. In the exhibit, there's a tent where you'll find paintings and portraits of historical and contemporary women in. There's even some deities thrown in.
The exhibition is the first time that the installation has been presented to the public that includes the tent enclosure. The tent enclosure was designed for the original installation back in 1976, but had never been fabricated. So this is the first time in over 30 years that this installation has been presented to the public again, and this time with the tent enclosure.
You could come and visit the Rowan Art Gallery at Westby until the end of June. From the Westby Art Gallery, this has been Samantha Berenberg with RTN News.
Sam always finds an interesting story. I've never been to an art gallery, but I don't know about you guys.
Well, it just seems like Rowan always covers every topic, whether it's like health related for health checks or entertainment. They aren't afraid to touch base on some subjects. And
Yeah,
do, like,
they have a
feminist
lot of
stuff
art
and-
galleries.
And this week's all about the girls, right?
Yes, all about the women.
All
And
the girls and
it was
the guys.
created
Cool for
like
that.
in like the time where like women were like, you know, power like woman movements.
Something crazy.
Yeah,
we have
then
to check it out if
yeah.
we can.
Yeah.
if
Never
we
gets
can.
old. All right, so now on to some more local news. Just when we thought we couldn't possibly like Wawa anymore, the convenience store chain recently announced that they are looking to fill more than 5,000 positions this spring. With more than 700 stores located in 6 states, Wawa is looking to staff more part-time and full-time positions to plan for the busier summer months ahead. Wawa employs more than 26,000, offering benefits, growth opportunities, and even employee stock ownership. With 60% of the management level positions being held by previous customer service associates, this is definitely a rewarding opportunity for many looking for work. Anyone interested in applying should visit www.wawa.com.
A woman died in a traffic accident in Utah on the way to her mother's funeral on Saturday. The 48-year-old was sitting in the passenger seat when the truck she was driving in had to undergo icy conditions. The driver of the truck lost control, hitting the median, creating the vehicle to spiral over several times. Investigators say she was not wearing a seatbelt and immediately ejected from the vehicle, later on being pronounced dead at the scene. And now over to Melissa Priori with some useful tips for those who are suffering from allergies. Melissa?
Thanks, Lauren. Take a listen all around campus and you'll hear the sound of coughing, wheezing, and sneezing. That's because with beautiful spring weather comes the less beautiful springtime allergies. This weekend, the Asthma Center reported that levels of tree pollen in the air was very high, as well as reporting high amounts of mold. Yikes. If you are someone who usually suffers from allergies, you should always take medications before your symptoms start. And sometimes symptoms from pollen allergies are preventable simply by keeping the windows in your house and car up. For those that can't get enough of fresh air, try saline solution instead of medicated nasal spray for your sinuses. This natural alternative is less damaging to the nasal cavity and also not as addicting. And as always, keep those tissues within reach. Procter & Gamble is facing a class action lawsuit against its popular male deodorant, Old Spice. 13 Old Spice products are said to have given hundreds to thousands of men burns and rashes, specifically on their underarms. The brand is highly favored by college men, and the smell is enjoyed by both men and women. So it will be interesting to see what damage this will do to the brand. In the meantime, consider other options besides Old Spice to keep your skin safe. Burt's Bees makes a natural men's deodorant for just $8. Procter & Gamble is being sued for $5 million in damages. Counting calories remains difficult when going out to eat, at least for another year. The Food and Drug Administration has again delayed the enforcement of labeling menus with the calories in each item until 2017, even though the law originally passed in 2010. This labeling requirement would only be for restaurants with 20 or more locations, but retailers and business owners continue to lobby against the law, part of the reason it's still been impossible to get it in full effect. This is one of the many things the Obama administration has proposed to make America more healthy.
See, I don't know how I feel about that. I'd like to know how many calories and stuff are on it, but
sometimes you don't.
what if I really want that pizza? I don't feel bad about it.
You earned that burger.
I know.
The thing is, though, it really isn't necessarily saying don't get that item,
Right.
but at
Just
least
make
if
you
you know
aware.
how much is in it, you can
Monitor.
portion things
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants double and triple portion
Yeah.
what they're giving. At least now you can feel a little bit better about maybe taking it home with you and eating it at midnight.
Even at Old Spice, though. I mean, you don't have to worry about odor, but now you got to worry about burning armpits. It's horrible.
It's all for the
You
men
covered-
out
You
there.
covered some crazy stories this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had, I always like to do it.
All right. Well, coming up after the break, guns at the Republican convention. I'll give you all the details when we come back.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan,
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
downtown,
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Bring this one.
Welcome back. The race for presidency just got a little more interesting. More than 50,000 supporters have signed a petition asking for the right to carry firearms at the upcoming Republican convention, being held at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Although Ohio is an open carry state, the Quicken Loans Arena is strongly against carrying firearms on the property. The petition was posted on Monday on change.org, asking for support of 5,000 signatures. Growing to more than 10 times the original goal, the petition claims that forcing attendees to leave their firearms at home will ultimately put everyone at risk. It also makes the strong suggestion that the convention center could be a target for an attack. The author of the post has since deleted their user profile from the website.
U.S. Navy Captain Daniel Dusick was sentenced to 46 months in prison on Friday after disclosing information to a foreign defense contractor. However, in exchange, the captain received prostitutes, luxury hotels, tons of alcohol, along with much, much more. The 49-year-old is the highest-ranking official charged in the massive Navy bribery scandal. 10 others have been charged and included in the scheme as well. Dusick has been ordered to pay a $100,000 fine and restitution.
U.S. Capitol Police shot a man after he revealed what looked to be a weapon at the visitor center on Monday afternoon. The suspect, Tennessee native Larry Russell Dawson, is facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon and assault on a police officer while armed. The 66-year-old will be presented to the District of Columbia Superior Court once released from the hospital. He was in critical condition on Monday, but pronounced in stable condition after undergoing surgery. No U.S. Capitol Police were injured, but one female bystander was injured by shrapnel and taken to a hospital. Following the incident, the Capitol complex was locked down for nearly an hour. No other suspects were said to be involved, and it was identified as an isolated incident with no active threat to the public.
An Easter egg hunt turned into a shoving match on Saturday morning, leaving parents very upset in Connecticut. This is the third year in a row that the Pez Visitor Center held the event and had a great turnout. But when it came at 10:30 a.m., parents started getting out of hand over the free experience, and kids were even trampled on. Pez said the crowd of people immediately moved to the third field, took over, and removed everything before the activity even started. The company hopes to come up with a resolution before returning next year. But now, on a lighter note, let's head over to Stephen Rodriguez for this week's Rowan Athletics.
Thanks, Lauren. The Rowan University softball team seemed untouchable in their sweep against Newman University, winning both games 9-0 and 10-0 during their home opener on Thursday. Right-hander Beth Highland only allowed one hit and struck out 11 in the first game. And in the nightcap, right-hander Mackenzie Jadaitis went 3 innings and gave up 2 hits in the win. Both games went 5 innings due to the 8-run rule, while shortstop Shalil Sneed and right fielder Morgan Smith led the way for the Profs in the hitting department. Each totaled 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a home run. Following the sweep, Rowan University softball coach Kim Wilson recorded her 700th career victory. Wilson has an overall record of 701 and 276 in her 26 seasons of coaching. She has recorded 637 wins at the university in her 20 campaigns with the Profs. In addition to coaching at Rowan, Wilson also coached 6 years at Washington and Jefferson College, registering a record of 64 and 57. Over in Rowan baseball, the men's team defeated DeSales University 13-2 on Saturday, moving the record to 9-9 on the season. Second baseman Evan Hughes led the way by contributing 3 hits and 4 at-bats with 3 RBIs. Shortstop Jason Clapper also added 3 hits of his own, tallying a double, 2 RBIs, and 1 run scored. Rowan travels to Penn State Abington today, looking to bring their record over 500 on the year. Now to Cody Decker with more about men's lacrosse.
On Wednesday, March 23rd, the Rowan lacrosse team hosted Haverford College at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium on the campus of Rowan University. The Profs got off to a quick start with 2 goals, one from Rachel Hoffbauer and another from Rachel Emerson, separated by a minute. The Fords cut the lead in half with a goal from Molly Lawstein. Then a 6-goal surge by the Profs set the tone for the rest of the half, including 2 goals apiece by Allie Herbert and Brittany Bollendorf. Haverford would answer back with a goal from Elise Adler, but the Profs had the momentum with an 8-2 lead at halftime. It was a more evenly matched second half with back-and-forth goals between the teams. Maura Grant had 2 goals for the Fords in the second 35 minutes. Hoffbauer had 2 of her own for the Profs, totaling 3 goals and an assist in the win. Bollendorf and Emerson also had 3 goals each. For the Fords, Christina Gold had 2 goals and 1 assist. Lawston and Serena Mineta had a goal and an assist each.
Cody Decker, RTN News.
So for All Access, we recently had the lacrosse team on, and the debate section was so cool because lacrosse is like an unfamiliar sport to many. We got to touch on should it be an Olympic sport? It was pretty cool.
A lot of physical contact in lacrosse.
Yeah, what do you think, Steve?
It's just a shame that it's not offered to more schools. I mean, a public school like where I came from, we don't have lacrosse, and it's like I feel like I could have been all right.
Crush it out there, knock
maybe
people
who knows?
down.
You know,
and we also talked
Definitely.
about how the women don't wear helmets, but the men lacrosse teams do. What do you think about that? Would it be more dangerous if they were to wear helmets?
It's more to play safe, you know.
Girls
what I mean?
pull hair, guys just kind of throw things at each other, right? Isn't that how it goes?
I don't know if we see that.
Yeah.
Well, what did you do over your spring break? Coming up next, we have Vina Marie Pizzo talking about this week's timing on Rowan Opinion.
Hey everyone, Vina Marie Pizzo here with this week's Rowan Opinion. This week I'm asking students what they did on spring break, how they feel about when the time frame was and how long it lasts, and if they think that students should be relaxing or enjoying themselves. Can't wait to see what they have to say. How do you feel about the time frame?
I think a week is a good amount of time. It was not really kind of a break, but, I'm glad it was right halfway through the semester, so it's halfway and you're halfway done. I like that they do that rather than, although it could have been lined up with Easter. Maybe that would have been a little bit better.
I am here with Taylor and Chase. Taylor, what did you do on spring break?
I did not have as much fun as I'd like to because I was completely bombarded with schoolwork the entire time. Just a lot of essays and stuff that I just should not have had to do, definitely.
How did you feel about the time frame Rowan has spring break on?
I think it's kind of an awkward time to have it because it's right before Easter. There's a whole week after spring break before Easter, so I feel like most colleges would just run it right through with Easter. So I think they should move it a week forward because it's just a bad time.
I agree that if Easter's going to be this early, we should have it through Easter because a lot of people are Christian on campus and celebrate Easter, so it would have been nice to spend time with my family.
Do you think that there should be deadlines during spring break or there shouldn't be?
I think that if they set deadlines for certain things during spring break, that it would really push the student to utilize the time that they do have than to just waste it. But then again, it is spring break and we should all be able to have so much fun.
Okay. Also, how do you feel about the time frame spring break lies here at Rowan?
Okay, I hated it. Why is it that our time frame is different from Montclair State University, I think TCJ, it just wasn't at the right timing as all my other friends. I was just like, man.
I am here with sophomore Matt Cass. Matt, would you like to tell us a little bit about your opinion on the time frame of spring break?
To me, it feels early. Spring break shouldn't start at the tail end of winter.
Okay. And then also, how do you feel about the way students utilize their time on spring break? Do you think it should be enjoyment, relaxation, time to get things accomplished ahead of the game?
Well, honestly, to quote Ross from Friends, we were on a break. It should be a time to have that enjoyment, that fun that you can't get the rest of the year because you're busy getting your work finished.
Is there anything else you would like Rowan to hear about your opinion on spring break?
Next year, put it in spring, please.
Thank you so much for all of your opinions. It happened to be a beautiful day here at Rowan University. I got a lot of great opinions, a lot of different feelings, but most of the Rowan students' opinions were that spring break was either a little too early or a little too late. Once again, it's Vina Marie Pizzo here with Rowan Opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now back to Rachel and Lauren at the desk.
That was some good input for spring break. What do you think about the timing?
A lot of mixed reviews. For me personally, I guess it might be a little bit different just because I commute.
Yeah,
so
a lot easier.
When it comes to Easter and holidays, it's a little bit easier because I get to still be home with the family.
Yeah,
so what about you? Being at school.
Spring break I went to Las Vegas, and there's really no bad time to go to Las Vegas, so I can't complain. And I'm a commuter, so I don't have to worry about staying on campus.
Exactly. So at least if you get to see your family a little bit. I guess it depends on what you make of your spring break, like this one.
Commuters have it easy.
Exactly. If you get to go away, you're doing something right.
Yep.
But that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Lauren Rosella.
And I'm Rachel Williamson. We'll see you next week.